What are you doing so far over there? Get in a little closer. Come on, no, closer than that. Come on, seriously, don't be shy. Come on, a little closer. I want to show you something. Whoa, too close. Back up, just a smidge. Okay, that's a little better. What's up, guys? Ginter here, and you might already know this, but did you know that the Onewheel Pint, Pint-X, Pint-S, GT, and GTS all have RGB lights already built into their LED bars? All right, so I just grabbed my macro lens, but just to show you that I don't have any modifications, here is my very first Onewheel. Just a regular Pint. It is mostly stock minus an Enduro tire, well, and the grip tape, but otherwise all the electronics, the motor, the LEDs, everything else is stock Future Motion. I haven't messed with it, and I just want to show you up close these lights. And you can see right now, red and white, right? And I'm going to take this macro lens and I'm going to show you these lights up front. So just stay still. Just got to get this on there. Here we go. Get this in focus. And we got it closer. Somewhere right about there maybe. Lock in this focus. Turn down the brightness. Oh, would you look at that? I see red, green, and blue. RGB. So how about that? There really are RGB lights in your Onewheel Pint or GT series, which is cool that they're there. I just wonder why we can't use them. In any case, you can if you buy a third-party controller. For instance, you might have seen in my GT and now my GTS that I do have RGB lights in here, but they're using the stock LED bars from Future Motion. They're just a controller that sits in line of them that controls the actual RGB LEDs that are already there. So for instance, this guy, my GTS, has Electrolytes already in them, and it makes pretty colors, which is awesome. You can also buy the Electrolytes kit for the GT and for the Pint series. So if you do want to void your warranty, which is the unfortunate thing that you have to do if you want to make them work, because they do install inside your controller box, you can turn your GT and your Pint to have RGB lights. But what if you have a VESC board? Well, some of you know that I do ride VESC now. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen my pictures of my board just standing on its own. So yes, my GT is now a GTV. This board's broken so many times that I finally got to the point where this is now my project board that I will tinker with. But when I changed over to the GTV, I did lose my electrolytes, and I had to install the LEDs that came with this kit, which are not RGB. They're only red and white, just like the old XR platform. So anxiously, I looked around and found that there was a company, FloatPrints, that does make an RGB controller and sells RGB lights for this kit specifically. So right here are the stock GT LED bars from Future Motion. We know that they're RGB. So I can reinstall these and use this controller to control the RGB lights on here, which is freaking awesome. Alternatively, you can also upgrade these LEDs to this high density LED strip with even more RGB LEDs on them, which is what I'm planning to do in the rear. So in the rear, I'm gonna put this guy back there and hopefully have like a really awesome colorful array of patterns and lights. And then for the front, I'm gonna put Future Motion's stock GT light bar back in because it has those 4 bright white LEDs. Those ones are not RGB. Those really bright ones that are in the front and the rear, they're only white. And those would make for great headlights. So stock GT LEDs in the front. In any case, I'm gonna start working on this. Hopefully it goes together well. cut it together to some music and show you what it looks like when I'm done. Right, so that didn't go according to plan. I reached out to the developer and we figured I accidentally shorted something out because I didn't swap out the rear LED bar yet before I tested it, and yeah. Got another controller, and hopefully this fixes it, so let's get back to installing.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route.
I'm so happy to see that it is powered up and working again. So let me just tidy up some cables and get it all reassembled.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route.
Ooh, can you hear it? It's alive. It's alive again. That looks like it's gonna do. I just gotta configure the VESC stuff all over again since it's a new controller, and then we're gonna go ride. So right now you're seeing the FloatPrints RGB setup for the GTV kit from Floatwheel. And yes, since we are filming during the Christmas season, I have configured them accordingly. But yeah, this kit is designed to be a drop-in kit with no soldering or other complicated setup. You basically replace your LED bars, install the LED controller, and plug in the lights into the LED controller. And then you'd plug in the remaining wires into the spots where you had your lights plugged in before. The developer has an install video that I'll put a link to in the description. I just happened to mess up and I powered it on before replacing the rear LED bar with the RGB one, so yeah, let this be a lesson, don't make my mistake. Thankfully, I was able to get a replacement controller and it actually ended up having higher voltage capacitors, so I did get a bonus out of the upgrade from my screw up. In any case, my setup does have the upgraded HD LED bar in the back, which does allow for more animated lighting. But you may want to cut out the vertical plastic strut bars that are in the rear, as they do block some of the LEDs. So, what is the difference between Electrolytes that are for stock FM boards versus the FloatPrints for the GTV kit? Well, for the most part, they work the same, plugging in line of your existing lights. When powered on, they both create a Wi-Fi access point to connect to, which will allow you to load a page to configure your preferred colors and animations. But on the GTV version, just like VESC, it is a bit more customizable. First, you have the option for that HD LED bar I was talking about if you want some more spicier animations. And there are more animation options, including the ability to create your own animations. That is because it's all based off of WLED. It's an open source project that allows you to control addressable LED strips. Oh yeah, and with the GTV kit, you can have animations on the front, which currently isn't available on the Electrolytes. Now, while you can't have front animation on Electrolytes, you can still change the color on them, and they do respect directional change. So the front and the rear LEDs will swap the colors and animations if you change from going forwards to backwards, just like they do with the stock lights. Anyways, that's my quick rundown on the two RGB options for Onewheels. I'll leave links to these two in the video description for you to check out, but feel free to leave a comment if you have any other questions. And yes,
There are more if you are deep into the VESC life, but since I don't have experience with those, I'm not going to speak on them in this video. Honestly, I just wish Future Motion would allow us to control the RGB lights natively. I mean, they're already there. Instead, we have that yellow fog light option on the GTS. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it's another safety feature. Is that picking it up a little better? Whew. All right, well, hey, that's Ginter for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the pretty festive lights. I know I did, even if it did cost me another controller, but hey, that's the price to pay sometimes going VESC. Anyways, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, if you learned something, do me a solid, bonk that thumbs up button, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great floaty festive season, and I'll catch you guys next time.